It wasn't always Cait and Tess against the world.
It might sound dramatic, but in one single night we went from being friends with everyone to being friends with no one. It wasn't because we intentionally hurt them. It happened because we made the decision to step outside of the borders that our class confined themselves to. They weren't ready for change, but we were, and they didn't like that at all.
Our class looked at it like we were abandoning them, but we just wanted to experience something new.
And even though that year was lonely as hell and sometimes unbearable, we still had each other.
And we learned that just because something may be convenient doesn't mean that it's right.
And in the end, we learned what true friendship really feels like, and just because you're losing people along the way, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're experiencing a loss.
Over the years, we've learned a lot about what it means to be a good friend and what to look for when you're picking your friends.
And we thought our experience would be valuable to you guys, so we decided to share it.
I think the biggest thing we learned when we kind of detached ourselves from our friends was the importance of trust and loyalty and having that sense of security with your friends.
And I think something that's really important is like what your friends say about you when you're not there, or like when you have a fight. And like even if you're fighting, a good friend's not gonna be like, oh, they're such a shitty person, you know, so and so did this, whatever, like talking shit about you, even though like, you are still friends. And like whereas like so many of our other friends that we distanced ourselves from, like they wouldn't have our backs like that. When we're all together, they'd be like, oh yeah, we're such good friends, but then as soon as we're not there, they'll just like go along with the crowd.
And then when we were left with just each other, I think we really relied on that trust and loyalty that we felt.
We realized like how important that is in a friendship, because like if you can't like trust that your friend's gonna have your back or defend you when other people are talking about you or whatever, like that is like the most important thing in a friendship. Like you're not friends if they're not gonna defend you.
Like any challenge kind of in general in a friendship, like if something goes wrong, you expect them to stick by you, whereas me and Caitlin kind of decided that we just wanted to like experience more things, and instead of our friends being like, you know what, I support that, you guys can go ahead and do that, they didn't. They were just like, no, bye.
The second thing we learned is that you do not need to be friends with someone just because it's convenient.
I think this comes a lot also from being from a small town, because we grew up together. Like we had been in the same class 5 days a week since kindergarten, so you're just kind of friends because you're almost obligated to be friends with them. And it took us a really long time to figure out that just because that we're in the same class doesn't mean that there are only options, and it doesn't mean that we have to pretend to be friends with them.
Yeah, just because you've been friends for such a long time, you think that they must be really good friends because you've been friends for so long, but really like they're just the only people that are there.
There's a quote and it goes, we've been friends for a long time, and maybe all that means is that it's been a long time, because it certainly doesn't mean that you're a good friend. And I think that just like kind of sums up how time doesn't really mean anything. We had known these people forever, but just because we had known them forever, it didn't like really guarantee you anything.
Back to the convenience thing, like I'm friends with these people because I see them every single day, and like it's easy. And if we were just gonna settle and be friends with people that maybe weren't the best friends that we could have, they won't be happy, and they're obviously not the best friends.
The third thing that we learned is the importance of inclusion. Sometimes you don't even realize that you aren't being included, and I think that took us a really long time to figure out. Like when we kind of took a step back, we were like, hey, these really aren't our people. We started going to Tisdale, and we met just the most amazing group of guys. I snapped one girl and was like, hey, is there anything going on tonight? And she was like, yeah, I'm actually at this party in Tisdale, you guys should come. And did not know a single person. I barely knew the girl I snapped, and we're like, okay, sure, why not?
From the minute we walked in the door, we just felt so welcomed, and like they wanted us there. Like
there's always gonna be somebody out there
who actually wants you
and
to be there.
You don't need to settle for people who are just kind of going back to the convenience thing. You don't need to hang out with people just because it's there. Like there are friends out there, and there are people out there who want to be your friend for the right reasons.
Yeah, and once you like actually truly feel like people want you there, you'll get that. Like you'll look back and be like, wow, like getting the offhand invite, like, oh hey, Troy's having people over, like you can come if you want, is so much different than like someone texting you and being like, hey, you should come. Like they actually really want you to come.
And that's what happened to us. So we went to this party that one night, and then the next weekend, the guy whose like house we were at,
which we just met
he found us on Facebook, and he was like, hey guys, like I'm having people over again, you guys should come. And not just like do you guys want to come? He said, you guys should come.
Yeah.
And such like, it's not a huge difference between the phrases, but they mean different things.
Yeah, and he went so out of his way to like find us both on Facebook and like invite us. Like, he did not need to invite us.
We weren't a last resort for once, we were a first pick.
Yeah.
And that was something that was just like, it was an absurd concept. I didn't really realize what I didn't have hanging out with the people in Care River.
Yeah.
And then to meet a group of people who were genuinely just liked to be around your presence. It was probably the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
And it was like refreshing. So shout out to like all those guys, all you guys from Tisdale, Sean, Jesse,
Wyatt,
Matt Man,
Mike,
Lane Pond, Mike, Taylor Sawatsky. You guys were awesome.
Probably without even realizing it.
You guys like changed, like you helped us so much.
Another thing that we learned is that if you feel like you can't be yourself around your friends, then they're probably not who you should be around.
We got hounded for trying new things.
Yeah.
Like, we would kind of reach out either to, like, new people, new ideas, and it was just, like, shut down. We went to school one day, and we were scared to mention the new things that we had tried, because we thought they were just gonna, like, fucking leave us.
Yeah, your friends should, like, be accepting of you trying new things and, like, want you to, like, do what you want and be who you want to be. Like, if you want to go freaking wear a pink hat, what the fuck?
No, that's so true, though. Like, even just, like, when it came
With
to, like,
what we're wearing.
new clothes.
All they wore freaking baggy sweaters and Lululemon pants, and that's it. Every single one of them. And then, like, Tessa wears freaking elephant pants, and she gets shit on for it.
They should have been like, you know what, Tessa? Don't
That's
really like them.
awesome.
But I'm so happy that you are wearing them because you like them.
Yeah, like, if you want to wear elephant pants, then wear elephant pants. Like, if you're not even able to dress the way you want to around the people that are your friends, like,
they're not your friends.
They're not your friends.
It's as simple as that. Like, such a hard concept, I think, to grasp, especially when you've been friends with somebody for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they start not accepting you for you, you really want to, like, hold on to that.
Yeah, like, I understand, like, you can have great friends that who are truly good people and good friends to you that don't want to do everything you want to do. Like, they're not interested in everything you do, but they're still supportive of you, and, like, they obviously want your best interest in mind. Like, they're not going to let you go start doing heroin.
Yeah.
Like, when you're talking to your friends or, like, you're out with your friend group, like, you need to be able to, like, to feel comfortable, to be able to, like, talk about what you want to talk about and, like, say your opinion. Like, you shouldn't have to, like, conform and just agree with everything your friends say. And just...
What kind of started our distancing from our friends was that we started hanging out with two boys in September. Yeah, these two boys weren't the best influences, and they weren't really accepted by our class.
Mm-hmm.
So we started hanging out with them because they were fun.
They were fun, and they were just who they were. Like, they didn't have to be anyone else. Like,
and I think we really liked that too.
Yeah, because it showed us that we could do that. If we wanna, like, we can do whatever we want.
And we don't talk at all anymore. Probably the biggest reason why we are who we are right now. They really allowed us to just kind of find who we want to be, and they were so open to accepting us for who we were. They were the first people. Like, Tisdale was great, but Ty and James were kind of the first people that kind of showed us that there's more people than just our class too. I think they really showed us that it's okay to, like, be a little daring, be a little spontaneous, be a little bit more adventurous. Like, those are aspects that I definitely didn't have before then, but then the times that we hung out, they were just always new. They were always kind of a little living on the edge. And exciting. Exciting. And I think those were just characteristics I have now that I probably wouldn't have had without hanging out with them.
Another quote that we really liked was, surround yourself with people you're intimidated by because they're the ones who are interesting and inspiring. Don't limit yourself because you're afraid of social acceptance.
And I especially think, like, that last, don't limit yourself, is really kind of explains everything that we're trying to, like,
express here.
Yeah.
People don't accept you and, like, support you, then, like, you don't need to hang out with them. You don't need to be around them.
I think you should be able to expand any aspect of your life, and if they're really your friends, they're going to support it. Don't limit yourself just because you're afraid that things might turn out badly.
Another thing, really important thing to remember is, if, like, it seems like your life's going to shit, all your friends are turning on you, you just got out of a relationship, you didn't get invited to some party, like, none of it matters. You have to realize that, like, no matter how bad things seem, and, like, it seemed really bad at times for us,
Yeah.
like, don't just, like, settle and, like, go back to what's easy and what's safe because you think that, like, it's better to be comfortable.
You have to really step outside your comfort zone to find what you like.
Yeah, everything is just a phase in life. Everything's just, like, at different stages, and, like, you're gonna be in this stage, and then you're gonna be in this stage, and whatever happened last stage doesn't even matter.
And another thing is the amount of friends you have does not dictate how good those friends are. Me and Caitlin had us. Like, yeah, we were hanging out with other people, but the bottom line is that we had each other,
Yeah.
and that was it. But
That
then
was it.
when we took a step back and we looked at the other people who claimed to have a lot of friends, they weren't actually, I don't think they were as happy as we were, even though life was hard. Having that one true friend was way better than having all of those fake friends that you think are important, because they're not important.
Yeah.
If you can't openly talk about how you're feeling and what you want to do,
And,
then
like, be yourself.
then why are you even wasting your time and your energy on those people? It's just a waste.
And I like to think also that, like, everyone that comes into your life comes in for a purpose. Like, maybe we're not friends with them now, but we were friends with them then. They were who we needed at that time. And that's just, like, something to always remember, even with, like, breaking off with friendships.
We know, like, all the things that we learned looking back on it. We also know that we weren't innocent in it. Like, we did things that we're not proud of, and we said things that we know we shouldn't have said.
And we're not, like, sitting here like, oh my god, everyone's so mean, poor us, our whole class turned on us. Like, it's not that at all. It's, like, we're just focusing on, like, what we learned from this.
And, like, one of the reasons I think we wanted to make the video so bad and why we're kind of really passionate about it is because I would way rather you guys hear this from somebody else instead of having to go through it yourself. Like, or if we would have seen this video, I think it really would have put things into perspective, because at that time it was really hard to see the good things, because the bad things were just so much more prominent at that point. And what came from, like, a really bad time in our lives is something that when we look back on now, we're really grateful for.
It seemed terrible at the time. We were really sad a lot of the time, not being invited to things, and, like, people hating us, whereas, like, but, like, now that we're through that and, like, we got through that, we're so happy with everything we've learned from it, and, like, we wouldn't have wanted it to happen any other way, because we wouldn't be who we are. Looking back, maybe we didn't handle the situation as well as we could have. There were times when we probably should have kept quiet, and times when we could have reached out instead of pulling away.
But regardless of how we handled it, we truly believe that everything happened for a reason.
Subconsciously, I think we knew that we were being a little bitchy at times, but it was better than settling. It would have been too easy to get sucked back into old habits, so instead of compromising and balancing the two friend groups, we chose to cut all ties instead of leaving the opportunity to go back.
We needed to grow and learn, and being the stubborn and slightly defiant people that we were, we had to do it our way. We needed to make the mistakes that we did in order to learn the things we know now.
The struggles that we faced taught us the importance of friendship and the importance of choosing the right friends. Certain people are only meant to be in your life for a short period of time, and as hard as it is to let go, if they're meant to be in your life, they will always find their way back in.